So this is actually kind of a sad day. As of yesterday, this happened, but it's been more publicly known today. As at the time I record this, it is June 26th, 2022, and the news broke out that former president of North America, at least back in the late '90s, Bernie Stolar has actually passed away. He passed away at 75, and I was trying to find what the cause. I didn't know if he had some kind of health issues or like if something had happened to him. I don't know the full scoop on that, but all I really know from what I've been able to gather is that he passed away at 75. I was reading through this, and I believe it was in California, so which I believe is where he grew up. So it's a very sad time because he was. I mean, I remember him from when he was at Sega specifically, and we'll get into all of that in a second. But let me bring some of this up here. I found a couple articles. This one right here, from Kotaku, basically who launched both the PlayStation and the Dreamcast. I know about the Dreamcast, and I know about other things that he did within Sega as well. I wasn't aware of this, but reading a little bit more into this, I actually learned now, anyways, that he actually started a little early in the what like 19 in the 1980s, working for Atari and basically working with like arcade games, and then moving into like console games. Then he was basically over at PlayStation, where he was one of the founding members of the SCEA, their gaming division there. I remember when he worked over there, and one of the things that he said, this is coming from Stolar himself at one point during an interview here that was put up on in this article, and it says here, when I got to Sega, I immediately said, we have to kill the Saturn. The Saturn. That was one of the big reasons why the Saturn, which that beautiful system right up here, I only have a few games, but well, a little more than a few games. Like I think I got like 19 or 20 games so far. I've been trying to recollect some Saturn stuff, but it's actually been a while since I got anything recently. Saturn stuff is really expensive, but anyways, moving on. We have to stop Saturn and start building the new technology. That's what I did. I brought a new team of people and basically cleaned house, is what he was saying. There were 300 some odd employees, and I took the company down to 90 employees to start rebuilding, according to Stolar. So, and that was around the time because I know he did a fantastic job with bringing the Dreamcast out, but man, when he basically said that he wanted to do away with Saturn, he didn't see any potential in it. And I can understand that argument, even though the Saturn is my favorite system. I've said it many times. Uh, he was kind of right. I mean, the Saturn was a very complicated machine. Porting anything over was like a miracle and a half, from what I understand. I mean, there were some games that were ported from like the PlayStation and on over, but like it was very complicated. It was very complex stuff, and unfortunately, we didn't really get a whole lot of other exclusives. I mean, we didn't really get us an exclusive Sonic game. I mean, there were 3 games, but it wasn't like it was truly exclusive to that system. I think Sonic R was for a while, and then it was brought to other things like PC. There was the Sonic Gems collection for the game. Was it the GameCube? And so you could play it there. But 3D Blast was a port from the Genesis, but it was the better version. Sonic Jam was just a compilation of all the old Genesis titles, along with like this like 3D little space that you were in. One of the quotes that he did say, and a lot of people who read up on gaming within the industry and all this, people that are around my age, they remember one of the biggest things that he said during an interview long ago. He straight up said the Saturn was not our future. The Saturn was not our future, basically telling everybody. I mean, and that's why it didn't do that well in the States. Nobody had faith in it. Europe didn't do that much better either. Japan, they really tried their best to really push for this thing. They really wanted this to basically be a success. Even after he was done with Sega, once he was pretty much let go from Sega, he actually went on to a couple other things. Like he actually was over at Google apparently, and this is way before. Like this was way too early. I think it was like a decade ago. He had this idea of like streaming games, but it was way too early. Like he was presenting this to them, but it's ironic because Google has kind of dabbled into that a little bit more. Microsoft is really invested in that sort of thing right now, and other companies are really, I think Sony's kind of jumping on board with that, but Microsoft has really put a lot into that sort of thing. So there's another article right here from VGC, basically saying here, there's a video here that'll take you to this one YouTube where he's presenting the Dreamcast right here, and it was a pretty good presentation. I was watching a little bit of it, and basically everything that's in this article is kind of what I was reading already in the Kotaku article, but you can check it out here. It's there. Yeah, man, he has a little bit of history being in the industry, and like I said, I didn't really know that he started at Atari. Hell, I didn't even know he helped to bring the PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know that. I just remember him, specifically for his time at Sega and how he really was trying to change things around when the Saturn was still active. And again, despite it being my favorite console, that's the reason why so many other games that did get released, they got released on there were limited quantities of these games, like really high-end ones like Panzer Dragoon Saga, Burning Rangers. Like there's so many with the Working Designs games, like they're so, I mean, yeah, you can get those games obviously in other regions. The Japanese market is definitely cheaper. Those games are so much cheaper. I'm telling you right now, go look up some of the prices right now. It's kind of crazy. I actually thought he was older. I really did. I didn't think he was 75. Like I thought he was a little bit older, to be perfectly honest with you. And when this news broke out, it just really made me think of like, not so much with the Saturn, but like when the Dreamcast came out, it was a phenomenal system, the Dreamcast. He did a great job with advertising for it, putting out all these different commercial ads and stuff, and really, you saw a lot of things in gaming magazines. It was everywhere. Dreamcast was a very promising system. It was just that Sega's history really was what brought it down, honestly. It should have done better than it did, but unfortunately, due to the, Sega CD, you only get one screw up, right? You only get one. So the Sega CD didn't help, and then the 32X was definitely not helping Sega's cause at all. And then jumping from that into the Saturn, because I think it was Japan that said, get rid of that thing, the 32X. We don't want to have anything to do with this and all that. So I don't know. That's what I like to believe. There's so many stories about what's really true, and yeah, I really do wish that the Dreamcast would have been better, because he did a phenomenal job with presenting this thing and what it was going to be. So it's unfortunate that, given Sega's history, before the Dreamcast, leading into the Dreamcast, I should say, it just, kind of brought it down. But I just wanted to touch on that. Bernie Stolar, he's unfortunately gone, and he was a big icon in the gaming world. And like I said, I learned some things about him that I didn't know, and maybe you guys didn't know either, or maybe you knew all of this. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.